Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. We'd like to present to you 3 articles of interest for review. And before I read the articles, we'd like to let you know this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is TechRadar, and the story by Wayne Williams. The headline reads, Micron's data center MRDIMMs double the bandwidth of existing DDR5 DIMMs. Promise enhanced AI and HPC performance with Xeon 6 Granite Rapid CPUs. And ahead of you, you see the memory in question here. Notice that these are 128 gigabytes, not megabytes, but gigabytes. And these are DDR. This is MRDIMMs. So that's what you see here. Okay, caption reads, Micron's data center MRDIMMs double the bandwidth of existing DDR5 DIMMs. Promise enhanced AI and HPC performance with Xeon 6 Granite Rapid CPUs. Copyright Micron. And just in case you're not familiar with Micron, Micron is a company that makes memory. And now to the article itself. Micron has confirmed starting its new multiplex rank dual inline memory modules, or MRDIMM. The new memory is designed for scenarios requiring more than 128 gigabytes of memory per DIMM, and it works by combining several layers of memory modules. Running at standard DDR5 speeds with a data buffer that speeds up the connection to the host computer, allowing for faster data transfer. Now, MRDIMMs improve upon traditional TSV RDIMMs by offering increased bandwidth, greater capacity, reduced latency, and enhanced performance per watt. So that is the power output required to run that module. Designed for use in virtualized environments, HPC, and AI data center operations, the MRDIMMs are the first generation of Micron's new memory module family that are compatible with Intel's new Xeon 6 processors. Used in Granite Rapids, quote, Micron's latest innovative main memory solution, MRDIMM, delivers the much needed bandwidth and capacity at lower latency to scale AI inference and HPC applications on next-generation server platforms, says Praveen Vaidyanathan, which is the Vice President and General Manager of Micron's Compute Products Group. Quote, MRDIMMs significantly lower the amount of energy used per task while offering the same reliability, availability, and serviceability capabilities and interface as RDIMMs, providing customers a flexible solution that scales performance. Micron's close industry collaborations ensure seamless integration into existing server infrastructures and smooth transition to future compute platforms. Adhering to DDR5 physical and electrical standards, MRDIMM technology is intended to allow for better scalability of bandwidth capacity per core. The modules offer up to 39% increase of effective memory bandwidth, more than 15% of improvement in bus efficiency, and up to 40% reduction in latency compared to RDIMMs. Available in capacities from 32 gigabytes to 256 gigabytes and suitable for both standard and tall form factors, RDIMMs are tailored for 1U and 2U high performance servers. Micron says they feature an advanced thermal design that lowers DRAM temperatures by up to 20 degrees Celsius, which is quite a bit. So if you want to put it in terms of Fahrenheit, what you do is you take the degrees Celsius, and it's basically times 9 over 5, which is 1.8. So basically it's 1.8 times 1.8, and then you add 32 degrees. So what that would be is 36 plus 32. So 20 degrees Celsius is 68, I believe. So 20 times, sorry, excuse me, it's 36 plus, yeah, 36 plus 32 is 68. So 20 degrees is, it's going to reduce the temperature by 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is significant. Which helps improve cooling efficiency and reduces overall energy consumption for memory-intensive tasks. Micron plans to begin volume shipping of MRDIMMs in the second half of 2024, timed to coincide with Intel's launch of its 128P core Granite Rapids AP line, a move which will see the chip giant take the fastest CPU server spot from AMD for the first time in a decade. Granite Rapids will be the first platform to support MRDIMMs at 8800 MTs per second on a host side. All right, very good. Let's go on to our second article here. And before I read the second article, as usual, I would like to let you know this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which in this case is TechRadar, and the story by Wayne Williams. Now the headline reads, Exclusive. Sony confirms it is killing its formidable 5.5 terabyte cartridge storage solution, clearing the way for its emerging ceramic, silica, and DNA storage rivals to take its place. And ahead of you, you see the picture in question. This is for tape storage, 5.5 terabyte, which means it's 5,500 of the gigabytes. Okay, so giga refers to billion and terabyte refers to trillion. Okay, and the caption reads, Exclusive Sony confirms its killing of its formidable 5.5 terabyte cartridge storage solution, clearing the way for emerging ceramic, silica, and DNA storage rivals to its place. I would still hold on to it. If you can get it for very cheap, I would recommend getting it. But just make sure that the operating system that you're using has driver support, etc. Now, Sony has been a key player in digital storage technology. The company introduced the CD in 1982, which developed in a collaboration with Philips, revolutionizing how data and music were stored and accessed. In 1995, Sony launched a digital versatile disc, or DVD, a joint effort with Philips, Toshiba, and Panasonic. This was followed by the Blu-ray disc in 2006, which offered even greater storage capacity suitable for high-definition video and data, which is where you have more storage and better quality that can support your HD stuff. In 2014, the company, in partnership with Panasonic, came up with a new optical storage format for professionals called the Arch Rival Disc, which could store a whopping 300 gigabytes of data. The writing has been on the wall for Sony's older optical solutions for a while, however, and the company said it has plans to phase out its recordable disc production, which includes Blu-rays. This is Blu-rays. That was a typo, should be Blu-rays. Having previously announced plans to cut a significant number of jobs at its optical media plant in northeast Japan, which I believe would be Hokkaido. I have that right. Alternative step up. Quote, the growth of the cold storage has not reached our expectations, and the performance of the storage media business as a whole continues to be in the red, which means they're losing money. As Sony spokesperson said, we have determined that it's necessary to review the business structure to improve profitability. Another casualty of this move will be Sony's optical disc archive cartridges. Announced in 2020, Generation 3 of the product has 5.5 terabyte capacity, courtesy of a double-sided disc with a triple layers per side. Wow. Nice. For write-once recording, the latest incarnation, at last as it happens, offers a much greater capacity than Generation 2. Released in 2016, which was 3.3 terabytes, and the initial release introduced in 2013 came with various capacities of 1.5 terabytes. Sony's move will mostly impact consumers as the company says it will continue to sell B2B, which stands for business to business, products from existing supplies. It has produced enough to meet demand for quite some time, but if you rely on optical storage, you might want to stock up now. A number of tech companies are working on alternative forms of storage that could fill the void that optical technology's decline will leave. These include ceramic, silica, which is quartz glass, and DNA-based storage, which I'll have to go over that in a future time. That's something definitely newer. As you can see, more from Tech Radar, Microsoft is edging towards making DNA storage a reality. The next hard drive will contain glass. The third one is 100 terabyte cartridges set to rival tapes, hard drives, and DNA. Okay. That's very interesting. Well, let's go to our third and final article of the review. And before I do that, I would like to let you know this is for review, informational, and educational purposes. It's not to take the credit for the intellectual property of the article. The full credit to the intellectual property of the article goes to the publisher, which is /gear, and the story by Nadim Sawar. Headline reads, How 3D Printing Could Revolutionize the Way You Got Your Medication. And in front of you is the said machine that's making the medicine. Caption reads, 3D Printed Medicines. Copyright Val de Hebron University Hospital. Now to the article itself. Arts, automotive, and jewelry are some of the segments that have benefited deeply from 3D printing, but it seems the healthcare industry is not far behind. The National Institute of Standards and Technology just released a paper talking about its trajectory, the need for regulations to ramp up 3D printing for making drugs more accessible, targeted in certain ways, or in certain cases, flavorful too. The team refers to the technique as distributed manufacturing and hopes it will be of critical importance when there is a need for rapid manufacturing of drugs like an epidemic. Notably, these distributed manufacturing units can also work in tandem as mass manufacturing unit at a large pharmaceutical facilities. The team is advocating adherence to a good manufacturing practice or GMP standards at all costs. The goal is to deploy 3D printing units in places like hospitals, pharmacies, and other kinds of registered healthcare facilities. Compared to factories, the biggest advantage of the 3D printers is that they will, quote, produce small batches down to single dose allotments, opening the doors for personalized precision doses / therapies for individuals. That means we can not only expect medicines to come in perfect doses, but also in a chosen shape and preferred flavor too. Notably, the manufacturing standards applied to these on-site machines would differ from those expected from the large-scale pharmaceutical manufacturing units without compromising the safety with quality standards for the end product. And ahead of you see a picture of this device and procedure and lab in question. Caption reads, Expert Testing a Medicine 3D Printer. Copyright, make this bigger here, R. Skellis, NIST. Moving on. One of the biggest advantages of 3D printed drugs is that it solves a dosage size issue. For example, there are many drugs that don't come in multiple sizes. For example, a young patient might require only a 5 milligram dosage of medicine, but the required pill is only manufactured and double that dose by pharmaceutical company. With 3D printing, medicine can not only be printed and delivered based on the size of the dosage required, but also tailored to the specific potentially changing needs of the patient. And ahead of you, you see a related video entitled, How 3D Printed Food Can Change the Way We Look at Eating. By way of interesting engineering, you'll be able to view this video upon publishing of this review, and this is embedded on this website and be able to watch on YouTube. All right, now moving on. Another crucial benefit is that 3D printing also allows flexibility in terms of the medication's format. For patients with difficulty swallowing a capsule or pill, you'll have a choice to access it in liquid form. Alternatively, deposition allows the creation of medicines in the form of films that dissolve in the mouth. However, the technique can also end the chore of having to pop multiple pills at once. Thanks to the polypills, and he has it in quotes, approach, multiple drugs can be combined into a single package. And ahead of me, which you can see is a picture. It's called centralized manufacturing, and it shows the processes of A to B, and then where's it? And then for B, there's 1, 2, and 3, and it shows you the process. It's copyright, its caption reads NIST, copyright provided by /gear. As far as children are concerned, the psychology of taking medicine is another task. With 3D printing, medicines can be produced in shapes that appeal to children, such as stars or animals. Moreover, the bitter taste can also be taken care of by customizing the chemical constituents to taste like chocolate or fruits of their choice. A paper published in the Molecular Pharmaceuticals Journal describes a technique that involves micro-extrusion for the processing of powdered blends. To take ibuprofen, an easily accessible over-the-counter drug for treating pain, fever, and inflammatory diseases, and a chewable form that comes in orange or strawberry flavors. What's next? Well, ahead of you, you see a picture of this machine next to what looks like a laptop computer, and the caption reads, Machine for 3D Printing Medicines. Copyright Val de Hebron University Hospital. The techniques discussed in the research paper are inkjet and drop-on-demand printing to achieve precision deposition of the chemicals that go into making medicines in multiple forms, such as films, tablets, and capsules. According to NIST, 3D printing could also handle pandemics more efficiently by speeding up the pace of vaccine delivery to the public. Which, as if you remember from COVID, that was a big issue, was they need to speed up the research, and it was this like emergency authorization act or whatever, so they're able to use this. But the challenge was they were in a hurry to produce all this medicine as well. So this would be something in the future that would deal with that type of crisis. The agency has kept an eye on all key developments in the field of 3D printed pharmaceuticals and plays a crucial role in setting up quality standards. It notes that supplying the raw material in the site of utmost importance, as factors like temperature and state change decide if its material is effective and if it has degraded. Equally important is quality assessment of the 3D printers. As part of its internal testing, NIST learned that LEDs and photodiodes are reliable methods of detecting issues such as blockage of the printer nozzle, contamination, or scenarios where the kit has run out of medical-grade ink. However, one crucial piece of the puzzle remains unsolved, and that is verifying the correct dosage that has been printed. The research paper points out that folks managing these local drug-making sites need to adhere to certain safety protocols. These rules would make sure that only drugs that have met official quality standards can be made at these sites to meet patients' needs. And then you can read the original article on /here. So apparently that would need to be something that's programmed in, that it can only produce medicine that's of a certain standard or a certain range of specifications. All right, so that will do it for a third and final article for the review. Before I end the review, I would like to first of all thank you for taking the time to watch this article review. As you could be watching any other article or any article review or any other video on YouTube, and also as I had this on Rumble, also on Rumble as well. As this did provide value to you, what I'd like you to do is please click like on the video. That way it will be pushed to the algorithm and more people will be able to view it and enjoy it. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. That way you'll have access to all the content on my channel, as I do have a variety of content on this channel for you to enjoy and benefit from. Also, if you haven't already, please click the bell button. That way you'll be notified of all my future videos. Just like to wish you a great day wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.